Before we continue, I would like to bring your attention to an issue. If we open up our api.suite.yml file, it appears we have made a mistake in our configuration. Our test passes, but our configuration is not reading our env.testing file. We need to change the depends value to Laravel 5. So now we reference our Laravel 5 module instead of the PhpBrowser. So in this way, it'll read our configuration file. We have an alias in our vagrant box, courtesy of Homestead, to run Codeception. Instead of writing vendor bin codecept, you can just type codecept. Homestead provides other aliases too. You should check them out. But we just, for now, are going to rebuild our Codeception configuration. Now let's get back to our test. If we close our terminal, go back to our test. We know we want our endpoint to return actual post data, but right now our controller is empty. So let's change our test. In order for our database to have post data, we need to insert it. Instead of using hard-coded data like fixtures or data files, we are going to use the factory we created earlier in this course. So in order to arrange our test, we need to do posts. I have multiple. And we are going to reference our model here. So post, class, and we're going to put the number 2. The number 2 indicates the amount of records we would like to create. And of course, post references our post model. And this is how we create multiple records or reference our factory as well. We are then going to define an expected array. This array is going to define exactly what our endpoint is going to return. Again, TDD is keeping us on track by forcing us to think about the result before we start coding. Now what's interesting here is that I'm actually referring to the posts array that we got from the I have multiple function. The I have multiple function will return a collection of data. So just like how you would with any sort of model, here we can access the attributes such as post title as well as posts content. So we're going to keep it very basic for now. We just have these 2 records and you can see title and content is all we're going to have for now. And I'm just going to reference the next item in the collection. Okay, so that should do it for now for our expected array. However, our endpoint is going to return JSON data. So what we're going to do is do expected JSON equals JSON encode. However, I can never autocomplete properly with PhpStorm for this. JSON encode expected array. So now we have expected JSON. In our act section, we're going to save the response by doing I grab response. We're going to save it to that response variable. And we're going to do another assertion. And this assertion is going to be I assert equals, so something you should be familiar with from PHP unit. And we're going to say the expected JSON is going to match the response JSON. And that's all for our test for now. Yep, I think actually we missed out here. We just need to import the post model. Cool, so we can clear that up. And now we're going to run codecept, remember our new alias, run API. So we're going to get a failing test here, but that's okay.